Hello!
Hi guys!
Welcome back, or simply welcome to my channel. I'm here today to film a UWC Q&A video. So yeah, if you don't know me, I'm Ilaria. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Italy.
And today I'm joining Ilaria's channel, and my name is Tonia. I'm 17 and I'm from Ukraine.
We're both first year students at UWC Atlantic College. Yeah, we're gonna divide this video into two parts. This is the first part, it's about UWC as a movement in general, and then go to Tonia's channel. We're gonna film a video about UWC Atlantic specifically.
Yeah, the link will be pasted in the description, so please make sure to watch the second video as well.
Okay, so first question is, what is UWC?
So UWC is not just a school. UWC is a global movement of 18 colleges that was started here. Yeah, UWC Atlantic was the first UWC school, and the interesting part of it is that it started after the Second World War, and UWC Atlantic was one of the first schools that brought together students from both sides of the conflict. That's what makes it unique, and that's what basically UWC keeps doing till today.
Yeah, there's campuses in places of war, like Mostar, for example, ones to foster peace, or Dilijan. They are actually located in places to foster peace.
The second question is, what do we study?
At UWC, there's some schools that offer elementary or middle school programs, but UWC Atlantic and many other UWCs only have the last 2 years of high school. So we're currently studying the IB diploma, which is a standardized international diploma.
So there are 6 subjects that every student has to take. 3 of them are HLs, so higher level subjects, and the other 3 are SLs, standard level or second level subjects.
Mainly the differences between HL and SL subjects is how long is the class, and the number of exams you have to take, but also the amount of knowledge you have.
Every single subject has to be in a different group. The groups are languages, we have 2 languages groups, because first is mother tongue and another one is language acquisition, to learn another language. Then we have maths, social sciences like natural sciences, arts.
Yeah, also another part of the IB is core. So we take TOK. We talk about knowledge, and we have to write an essay in the end. And then we do CAS, which is 3 activities that are mandatory to pass the IB, and it standards creativity, activity, and service. And also there's the EE, which is kind of a thesis you have to write, and it's 4,000 words. I take 2 sciences, because if you decide not to take art, you can choose a subject from another group. So I do math AA HL, bio HL, and chemistry HL, and then I take at standard level anthropology, Spanish ab initio, and English A.
Yeah, and I'm doing completely different subjects. Me and Ilaria are absolute opposites. I don't take arts as well. That's why I take 2 social sciences. And I also don't take language acquisition subject, because I'm bilingual. That's why I do higher level English. Then I also do 2 social sciences on higher level, global politics and geography. Then I do 3 SLs, which are environmental systems and societies, as my science. I do math AI, which is the easiest type of math you can do. And I do self-taught Ukrainian, which is my other mother tongue.
How hard is to study the IB?
IB is hard, but it's not undoable. You can do it. As long as you work, you can get good grades. And IB is also very standardized. So very often it's not about the amount of knowledge you have, but the knowledge that you have to have the specific knowledge, and you have to be specific and concise in everything that you say. And you also need to know the structure of every paper that you write.
Get the points with the mark scheme, to really have to know how to sit the exams, rather than the knowledge of the topic itself. But also I think it's hard for us, because we are at UWC. So here you cannot have every option to procrastinate ever. You live with your friends, so basically you can all collectively not study and do something else. Whereas I feel if I was at home, the IB wouldn't be this hard.
How much do you study to get good grades?
I don't feel like I study that much. I just like study effectively and like I take a lot of attention in class. Like maybe I would say like 1 to 2 hours a day. But like for example in the weekends, some days I don't like even study. Or if I have a test I may study more. We can all study together in the library, and that's like the main reason why we procrastinate.
Yeah, we can stay in the library for hours and don't do anything just because we are communicating, we're talking, and then we go to dinner, and then we go somewhere else, and then we have a meeting, and then we have council and whatever. So that's why we are not very efficient when we study together. But in general, I would say I study on average 3 or 4 hours a day. And it includes like homework and assignments and revision and everything. But it's also because in some classes it's hard for me to focus. And that's why I take more time studying on my own.
The IB grades you on a scale from 1 to 7, and you can get from 1 to 7 to each in each of the 6 subjects. So you can get a total of 42 points maximum, and then TOK together with your EE like complete the 3 points that make it 45.
There are a lot of options of CAS. In every college they would be different, and every college would probably have some unique CAS. What are your CASs, Ilaria?
Volleyball. I'm in a volleyball team. Then I do filmmaking CAS with Tonia. Like we film short movies and we learn about like how to set cameras and stuff like that. And then I do the Lighthouse, which is my service, and it's basically like learning how to do impactful projects for your community.
My creative is guerrilla filmmaking, just as Ilaria said. We are sharing that. We had it today. But it's so fun, and we actually learn a lot. Like I learned a lot about gimbals, tripods, cameras, microphone, and other different equipment that I wouldn't know about otherwise. So that's my creative. Then my activity is Pilates. Mostly it just helps me to relax and do some sports without having any crazy activities. And the last one is service, and it's Pico Outreach, which is a class where we mostly fundraise. We try to engage with the local community to fundraise for some peace initiatives in our school or to donate the money to other charities. The next question that is quite important is how do you apply to UWC?
You can either choose to apply through your national committee or through the global selection program. So national committees are institutions that are basically held by volunteers in different countries, and each country has a different national committee, and they basically have a number of scholarships that the colleges assign them, and they can either be fully funded, partially funded, or they can also be simple places that people have to pay to get. National committees run selections to select students to send to these colleges, but it depends on the national committee how much of a choice you can have on the college you end up. There's gonna be like written applications, interviews, and like also in some cases financial assessment to actually like understand how many grants a student needs to attend.
So GSP stands for Global Selection Process. If you're applying through GSP, you can choose which college you want to go to, or you set the priorities, and you will most likely get your first priority. And for national committee, you can't do that. For national committee, you just apply to UWC as a whole, as a movement, and then your national committee places you in whatever UWC they think is better for you. So through GSP, there are no scholarships. Like your parents will have to pay the whole amount of money that your college costs. So that's a disadvantage of GSP. But also there is a difference between how easy is it to get to UWC through different ways. So through NC, it's usually harder because NCs can have a limited number of scholarships, as Ilaria said. It also depends on how many people from your country apply. And also some scholarships can be very specific because sometimes UWCs just search for that kind of person to contribute to their diversity. Through some NCs, the chance to get into UWC can be as low as like 8% acceptance rate. And also know that there are some colleges that don't accept GSPs at all. For example, UWC Changshu in China.
Yeah, or Adriatic.
Yeah, Adriatic as well.
Or Robert Bosch in Germany.
So to some colleges you can only get through your national committee and not GSP.
But if you guys are interested on like tips to get into UWC, to like write your application,
put some comments with your questions, and we will for sure.
Next question is, what are the advantages first and then the disadvantages about being a student at UWC? Like I remember looking at all like the YouTube videos before coming here, and something that was never mentioned is like how much of like a support UWC gives you when like then applying to university, because UWC is a very well-renewed institution, like no matter the campus, but like university from around the world like know how hard it is to first get into UWC, and then like how hard you have to work while you're in UWC for the IB and everything else. So I would really say that like UWC gives you very good opportunities and chances for university. In particular, there's the Davis Scholarship Fund, which provides UWC students with so many scholarships to study in American colleges. So basically, if you're a UWC student and you get into these colleges, there's a very, very high chance you get like scholarship in these. So, and also like the counseling we get at our school is very, very good, and we get to study the IB, which is internationally recognized.
Yeah. It's statistically proven that like IB students have higher chances to get into unis than any other students. Just because IB is so tough and it's so hard that universities know that this student is good if they passed IB. Another thing I would want to talk about is in general the support we get from the UWC, and it's not only about the unis but about everything. There are so many opportunities here. There are so many interesting conferences or events you can attend here that it's just so much support. You get support as funds sometimes, because there are like project funds. So if you implement some kind of project, or if you are like creating a social initiative, there's a big chance that you can get funding from your school. Then it's also counseling. There's a lot of support in terms of mental health, a lot of support in general, and the community itself is very supportive because people are always exchanging their emotions, supporting each other, making sure that everyone is okay, that everyone is comfortable.
You really have the agency to make like your UWC experience like the best you want. Like you can take leadership positions in UWC, you can become the leader of a class, you can like write a proposal to change something in your school. And I feel like this is something very unique that you may not find in other schools. Like you really like have the possibility to do it wherever you want in your school. And like literally like there's clubs or like cast in our school that like you wouldn't find anywhere else. Something I really like to talk about is like how much it teaches you to live with like a diverse cohort of students, because like I feel like it really makes you like acknowledge how to become like a better citizen. Like, think about like everything before you say it, or like think about like other individuals that like may not have your like the same point of view as you.
Every time I think about the UWC, I think about all the kinds of different people I met here that I would never meet before. I've never seen people from certain countries, and then I came here and then I met all of these people. And also another interesting quote that I heard, that like when I was talking to my friends, they were talking about some countries, some conflicts around the world, and what I told them is that for you, these are just these are just conflicts, these are just concepts, but for me they're people. Because I know people from these countries and I know their unique perspectives, and I understand how much deeper everything is than it's portrayed in media, in other schools, or in like any like mono national places. So the fact that it's so international here, and you just get exposed to every single culture that you can think of. Obviously not every single, but a lot of cultures. And every UWC tries to make sure that the cohort is as diverse as possible, that there are people from all the parts of the world presented. If the college is located in some area, there will be more people from that area than from another one. Sometimes it's a requirement, sometimes it just happens because it's just more known in that area. So for example, at the UWC, I think we have the biggest number of British students, and in general Western European.
UWC like gives the world a face. I cannot now like think about like a country in the world without like associating the people that like come from that I met here.
With the diversity being a big advantage, there's also a disadvantage of diversity, because it's something that you have to be used to, that you have to always think of, and that some of your actions can be very okay in your culture but very not okay in other culture. And when you just come here, you might not understand that. And it can be just in like as like simple things as just daily communication, or just saying hi, or just doing some gestures in different ways. Because for some people it might not be okay that you like want to hug them or other things. It can be just as simple as that. But it can also like cause like deeper things and like deeper insults that might happen just because people don't know. So that's something you have to understand that.
Yeah, I agree. Like something I would say is that you will have to change your friend groups, and like you will like come here and like be very very like disoriented because you are alone, and you have to first of all like stay true to yourself. Like so like you have to portray yourself, like you have to show yourself as how you wanna be considered by others, and also like you like kind of go through this stage in which like you have to find your friends, and you have to find the people you're comfortable with, and that can be like very very upsetting because like there's moments where you're like in the first month like you don't have like any stable figure, and you don't know like who you should like stay with, or you should like take like as an example. There's gonna be hard moments where you're alone.
Yeah, I agree. UWCs can be very socially draining because firstly, all UWC students live in boarding houses, which means that you have to adjust to the schedule of your roommates. You may have different habits, different food choices, different everything, and you just need to learn how to live with that, because I don't think you can change your roommates unless something crazy happens. So you just have to figure out ways how to live with things that might be annoying or frustrating to you.
And also like you never get to spend time alone. Like wherever you go there's gonna be people, so like you really have to find like a way to like cultivate like staying with yourself. And in terms of sickness like from home, sometimes I get it, but like I thought like I would be like more homesick honestly before coming here.
Yeah, that is really true, because you're always surrounded by a community of people that you don't really think about what's happening back home, that it's just like fulfilling all of your needs here.
And so it's so like draining, like you always like
Yeah.
think about other stuff that like you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video until the end and listening to our answers. Go to Tonia's channel for the Q&A about UWC Atlantic specifically, and yeah, we hope to see you guys maybe.
Yeah, at the UWCs across the world. Share your experience in the comments, as well as watch all of our other videos about UWC Atlantic specifically.
Yeah, and if you have more questions, leave them down below. So maybe we'll see some of you next year.
Yeah, see you!
Atlantic.